Hello, I'm Lizzie. Each week I'm bringing along a different origami fold, and I'm doing that to encourage you to take some time out for yourself to have a little bit of relaxation, focus on other things. This week I'm bringing along a ninja star decoration. I have actually shown ninja stars before, but I really love these to be able to hang up at this time. They look really festive, and the reason I wanted to show you now is actually I'm making myself lots of little ninja stars, which I'm posting to friends, to family, because it feels a strange festive time when we're not together. So actually making something that you can put through the post quite easily, I thought was a good one to show now, because maybe this is something that you could do in evenings or weekends. Definitely make some for yourselves, but maybe you might want to make a little ninja star for a loved one as well. So all of these films are dedicated to my colleagues at UCLH Hospital, but these films are for everyone's well-being and to encourage you to find folding as a beautiful way to calm yourself. So I'm going to show you out of A4 paper, but actually if you have something like any festive wrapping paper, you're going to use two squares actually. So if you have different colours, for example, this is the kind of effect that you get, which is really nice. Obviously you're going to need some kind of piece of wool or string to be able to hang it from. This one actually is completely plain, but I just had a go at colouring in on that. I really like that. So you can also do one completely plain and then get colouring and make it really unique as well. So if you grab yourself some paper, we're going to make two squares. You could always have a go at making just normal squares and then cutting out some out of wrapping paper and have an experiment too. I'd love to see what you make, but I thought this would be good timing to slowly get ready for this festive time and to make something special you can post. So if you grab yourself something to press on, I'm just grabbing a board. I'm going to grab myself a piece of paper, just normal paper, nothing special needed. And I'm going to direct the camera down. Here goes. So I'm going to take my piece of paper. I'm going to make two squares out of this one. So I'm going to fold it in half and make two rectangles. And as always, I encourage you to use origami to slow down, to have some nice gentle time together, and we do something lovely for your well-being. So I've folded it in half. That's nice and accurate there. Good strong folds. It also helps you relax as well doing that. You can do a little tiny neck there, and then you can gently tear that apart. And we're going to make two squares. It has two halves, the ninja star. Taking a corner and folding it up. I think it looks really effective. I particularly like the idea that you can post this so easily, whereas anything more three-dimensional wouldn't work, but they have such a beauty to them. And we're going to get rid of this rectangle, so turning it over, bringing it back, and as always I do a live fold on a Wednesday at 2 as well, UK time, as a point where we can come together, do something live in that moment, and there's something really beautiful about that. Again, a little nick, and it's kind of been committed to doing it this way because I'm working remote, so for my colleagues, but as I said, for everybody. I've actually really enjoyed working in this way. It's been different. Good creative challenge. Take the corner and then fold it over this way. I know all is safe and that's important for now. I hope you're feeling a little bit more optimistic with that a vaccine is possible is an amazing thing, and that it will make such a difference. Otherwise it was fairly hard to see how things could improve. Again, folding back. I'm a scientist originally, so obviously science does bring hope and does have such an impact on our lives. Again, a little tear there, so I feel very proud as a scientist. Extraordinary that a new virus within a year or so to have actually produced a vaccine is extraordinary. So we're going to open it up, and if you can just fold it in half to make a rectangle. There we go, and we'll do the same with the other piece too. So I've done one of those squares, again opening it up and folding it in half to make a rectangle. like so. So next, if you open up your rectangle, well, square, and take the top side, and we're going to aim to that middle line. We're sort of making it into a little, almost cupboard, so that it looks a bit like a wardrobe. So folding it into the middle, like so. So it was up here, we folded it into the middle, and then the same with this, that we're going to bring from bottom to that middle line, like so. There we go. And then you can just fold it in half as it naturally goes. So that's going to be one half of our ninja star. Again with this one, opening it up, bringing the top and bringing it to the middle. Again, do be accurate. It's always a good idea. The more accurate you are, the easier it will all work, because it's engineering. You have to get these things right. But in many ways, that's also what's pleasing about it too. And paper's quite forgiving. You can fold many times to get it right. Bottom line, and again bring it to the middle. And I think it's actually the order that's really helps our mind too, because we don't like disorder. And in many ways things have been out of our control. So it's a little space where you can make a little bit of control, a little bit of perfection in this world. It is possible. Start with the little things. That's right, and actually what joy that brings. So again, fold it in half. Right, so we've got our two halves of the ninja star. I'm going to put one of them down. What I want you to do is with one half, you're going to take a corner and fold it to that middle line. Probably easier if I do it to the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. That's it. So I've done one half there. And I'm going to do the same on the other half, but the opposite way round. So here my sort of triangle's gone that way. Here I need it to go the opposite way. And in just a moment, we're going to do the same to the other, but the crucial thing is that they're mirror images of each other. They're not the same. It's like two halves of a body. That's it. So you can see it's one way and then the other way. That's the only important principle. Now next we've got to make sure they're both the same way round. So I've got a little slot on this side, so I'm going to pop that down. I know that the slot's there. And I'm going to make sure the slot's on the same side for this. So I need this to be a mirror image, in which case this one's going to go out that way, this one's going to go in that way, so that they kind of match each other, but that they're the same way round. It's a good little exercise for the brain as well, isn't it? And this is something which children can enjoy. You can actually throw these things too. They do throw actually really rather well, but I think they're lovely as decorations to hang up. Look fantastic on a tree, or just put up, and actually these can be enjoyed any time of the year, so I'm going to be putting my rainbow ones up. There we go, like so. So they're mirror images. So our next step is we're going to be folding so that we're going to make a sort of triangle at one end. So to do that, we're going to take, it feels quite thick now, we're going to take it and bring it down. So it's basically making a triangle up here. If it's looking the other way around, then you've got it the wrong way around. There we go, can you see? So bringing it down, and it lines up there, and this looks like a nice triangle at the top. And we're going to turn to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing again. This side, I want it to be a triangle on the other side. So taking this and lining that up together again. Straight line. There we go. So your piece looks like this. You've done all the folding for your ninja star and it's assembling it. There we go. And I do the same thing on the other one. So again, we want this to become a triangle. So we're going to fold this down so that lines up there. I haven't yet tried with some kind of festive paper. It'd be quite nice to do as well. But I quite like the colouring in. The sparkly ones I've brought back some lovely papers from Korea. And they're lovely foil papers. I thought they look rather nice for this. Again, this is going to be a triangle. Like so. So we've got 2 pieces here. They're very interesting things already, aren't they? And our principle is this is going to become a kind of a cross and pieces will interlock. It's a great puzzle, this one. So we're always going to have, you'll find on your piece that there's a sort of tuck pocket there. Keep that on the outside, and we keep the smooth bits on the inside. So I'm matching up the smooth bits and keeping it almost as a cross shape. So can you see this tuck is on the outside, and it's the same over here. Now our principle really is that each of these will fold in and will tuck into that slot. As I said, this is something to really focus the mind. Enjoy that it's a puzzle. So I'm going to take this. Be really kind and patient on yourself. Can you see? So there is already a line there, and I'm folding it down. And I can just lift up that little pocket and tuck it in. So I've done 1 arm out of 4 for my ninja star already. Now I tend to like to go from one side to another, and I think it works better that way. So turn it then over to the other side. And I can see, I think I'm going to take, again, either of these ends could be folded in, but I think I'm going to pick that up and just, you see, there's already an existing line. Folding it in. Make sure it's nice and tightly against that line. It's all quite thick paper, but it's also what makes it quite good and strong. Again into that, and then turn to the other side. And there's only 1 up here that can be folded in. So that's our next one. So again, you can see the line there, and it's going to fold. And again, it matches up nicely to make a good sharp point there. And I can just, again, just lift up. There's a little slot there. So lifting up that slot and locking it in. And it's so brilliant. There's no glue, and yet it's really strong. And as I said, you can chuck these too. They're quite fun. They do sort of throw very well. But I like them as decorations. So you can see it's looking really nice and strong now. So we've just got back to the other side. We've just got 1 more, and we're going to fold it in and then slot it in. But before we do that, I think we definitely want to make sure that we're going to have a thread. Right, can you see there? It's sort of a little bit of an angle. I'm going to make sure that's nice and tightly across, because I will want the other one to have space to go into that slot. It's all about understanding, and actually it is hard learning anything new, so do be patient with yourself, but you'll gain so much from doing something different, and it really is the fun of it. It's only when you're doing it that you'll get to appreciate just how much fun this is. Hey, where's the end? I'm going to grab a piece of wool. Looks about right. So if you've got any string or wool, there we go. So we're in a moment going to tuck in the arm, but before we do that, we can put the thread in pretty much along that line that it's going to fold in. Lovely. So now I can fold that over, and it's going to be tucking into that last little slot. It's the last free slot. You might need to sort of pull it back so it opens up that slot. This is the trickier one. But if you aim in that little spike, you should then be able to have a go at pushing it in. Always fun to do on film. Or you might use a knife, or once you get it in, it's all right. You could gently use something like a paper knife. There we go. So your thread is left in there, but it actually will hang very well. Tie up the ends. I'm going to move it round till it's good there. Tie up the ends. And as I said, it's also rather lovely to colour. So if you haven't used any colourful papers, you can get colouring, which is what I did here. I really enjoyed using different coloured pencils. That's all I've used. We might have felt tips or maybe doodle on it. But, I hope that gives a really nice festive decoration that you could do for yourself, maybe even post as well. Thank you. And I'll be sharing so many more festive folds during this time as well, which I hope you'll enjoy. Thank you.